Good day. My name is Zoe McLaughlin, student number 24220724, and today I will be explaining part 2 of my Creative Arts SF1. In my lesson, I chose to use the art form visual arts. I used visual arts in my lesson by firstly showing a picture of rock art to the grade 5 learners as my attention grabber, and secondly providing the learners with pieces of paper that I had dipped in tea beforehand so that it has the color of a rock, then told the learners that they would have to draw their own rock art on these pieces of paper. On these pieces of paper with the rock art that they drew, they would either have to draw rock art that tells a story, explains a trance ritual, or represent symbols representing things that they would have to explain to me what these symbols mean. The reasoning behind my decision is that I feel like learners grasp the content being taught more when they physically see the work that was taught and physically do the work that was taught. This way, in my lesson, learners who learn by hearing the work benefit, learners that are practical workers will also benefit, and learners that are visual learners also benefit. This way, I cover all learning techniques in this lesson. It would benefit the learning taking place, as I said, by the different learning styles that would be covered in this lesson. An interactive lesson, and learners tend to learn more and understand the work being taught more when they interact in the lesson. The reasoning behind all my decisions in this lesson plan is that rock art is a crucial topic in South Africa that needs to be taught to the learners, and it is in the CAPS document. With them also interacting in the lesson, they would understand the significance of rock art in modern society now. Attention grabber is my poster that is inserted in my lesson plan that I would project on the whiteboard in the class during the lesson development. It links to the topic that I'm teaching quite well because it is a poster about rock art. Logically links to the chosen content because my content is about rock art. It would also link to my chosen art form because it is a form of visual arts where the learners are seeing the work that is done. This also helps the learners understand art better, so it benefits them with history and art. For the reflection of this lesson, I feel like the learners would have grasped the concepts and the content that was taught in this lesson easily, because a lot more young children are becoming visual learners because they are always looking at screens. Because of the art form that I have picked, I feel like it would benefit the learners once again in both subjects, creative arts and history. And I do think that as another reflection, I could have maybe given them more time to do the rock art. I could have gotten actual rocks, and instead of them drawing it, they could have painted it. But I feel like overall this was a good lesson, and the learners would understand more because they are getting involved a lot. There's a lot of involvement in my lesson plan. I am not just saying the work and they have to just understand it and write it down. I am asking them to physically do a drawing, which I feel like learners also find fun and entertaining. Also asking them questions about the rock art in the consolidation of the lesson, which would help me understand if they have been listening and paying attention to the lesson. It would help me also help them by answering their questions and giving them the correct answers if they are wrong. It would also give me an understanding of if this is the type of lesson structure that I should incorporate more into different lessons and start integrating art into lessons. Learners enjoy the lessons, they generally end up learning more.